All right. So these are good little tutorials. I insert these in lots of places. W3 Schools has nice little snippets of tutorials to get started with. So a hash map is like a Python dictionary. It works with key value pairs. Almost all programming languages have arrays. And how is information retrieved from an array or a list or whatever? Index. And how's information retrieved from a dictionary, hash map, whatever you want to call it? Key value pair. You put in the key, you get the value. And so one example that we've actually done quite a bit with in our various programming classes is APIs. Because an API, joke API. Oh, we should do astronauts in space. Because that's the next thing I'm going to put into my program I've been working on, which tracks the International Space Station as it goes, is to put on who's on board. Astronauts in space API. There's actually an API that, there it is. That's not actually, yeah, that'll be close enough. So this returns who is in space right now and what are they in, right? So we've seen this kind of structure before. So this is a JSON type structure. And when you look at it through Python, which is kind of what this is, does this look, what sort of data structures are in here? Andy and Sonia, what data structures are in that JSON?
I can see the one, I think it will.
Well, if you're sitting back there, you should have your own telescope. I'm kidding.
Oh, we could move up.
You could move up. I did zoom it in. Is that better?
Yeah, it's better.
Okay. So this is a data structure that actually has two different data structures in it.
Dictionary,
So where is the first dictionary?
the first curly bracket, message success, number.
So this message would be the,
Key.
and if you put that key in, you get that value back. Same thing here. You put in the key number when you're retrieving the API, you get the number of people that are in space. Right? But what if you put in the key people? Uh-oh, something is weird here.
It's another dictionary.
It's a what?
Oh, no, because it's a tuple.
Tuples are parentheses. This is a list.
Um,
Even though it's a list of one thing, sometimes that's how JSON stores stuff, and that's how sometimes they put it in an API. So in Python, and you can do this in C++ and Java too.
A list of a dictionary?
Yeah, that's what it is. So, oh, I need to, oops, let's get over here. So how you retrieve it, as soon as I get this thing out of the way a little bit, how you retrieve this, of course, is you're looking for the people first, right? So we just have to put in people and we get our dictionary. How do we get information out of a list? Well, we go like this, right? Brackets are used very commonly in arrays and array lists and all that stuff to retrieve information. And so what would be the index of this part of the list?
The dictionary.
But what's the index? Because we have to have an index with a list. How many items are in the list? Actually, we don't know because there's more than one person in there. But if we wanted to just retrieve the first one, we would do 0. But in order to retrieve this, you have to loop over it until it's finished. And then you get all the people because there's like 8 or 9 right now. I was just using this as an example of a data structure inside of a data structure inside of a data structure. So they don't have to just be one thing. You can have lists inside of arrays, inside of dictionaries, and you can have multiple things, and that's true in any language. You can have multiple data structures inside of other things. So once we've got like the first item, then what's this one? What's this data structure inside of we have a dictionary, we have a list, and then inside that list, we have
Another list.
Dictionary.
Dictionary. Okay.
So if I wanted to retrieve the name of the person, in Python, I do .get, right? And I do name, and I get the name of the first person in the list. I mean, the I'd have to loop through my list, but I'm just saying, we're just gonna get the first one. But then I put in name, right? That would get me the name of the astronaut. And then if I do get
Crap.
craft, well, now I have everything. But look at how I had to do multiple access. I had to get first the list and, well, actually I had to first get the dictionary value, which actually in Python would be .get. I had to get the dictionary value first, right? And it would actually look like this. I got the dictionary value first, then I got the item in the list, then I finally got the dictionary value. So the point of this is you're not going to have just a single data structure depending on what you're doing. You can end up with data structures instead of data structures. And the term data structure means beyond a single variable, meaning you have a single variable that has multiple items in it. And one of the classes you'll do next year will be algorithms and data structures. And they assume by now you know how to use data structures. What'll happen in the next class is you have to create your own and understand how they work. That's the next step. We're understanding how to use them, but we don't necessarily get into the deep dives of like, how does it actually function in the background? Just to give you a heads up. Is everybody's head up?
Mhm.
All right. So that's why I did that. And you can do this. You can get JSON in Java. You can get JSON in C++. You can get JSON in any language. The nice thing about JSON, JavaScript object notation, it's a general purpose plain text format that anything should be able to retrieve and save, which is what we're working on this week in our Python, was JSON. It's an interchange format. It's a plain text interchange format that you can work with anything. And it is the most common way of exchanging information between two systems that do not have anything in common. But the thing they do have in common as the lowest common denominator is this plain text data structure called JSON. And that's the most, there's also XML, which is more complex, and things are tending to go more toward JSON because it's easier to use and it's a little more flexible. If you ever saw an XML file, it's just got all kinds of stuff in it that was very confusing. So I'm not going to do XML. All right, well, that was one video. I think I'll stop there.